Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Is a new episode of Chicago PD on tonight, February 12, 2025. There's no doubt that we are ready for more episodes of Chicago PD. There is some bad news when it comes to episodes tonight, Wednesday, February 12. There isn't a new episode of the cop drama on tonight. The entire One Chicago lineup is off the air tonight when it comes to new episodes. There is a little bit of good news in all this though. NBC knows how popular the One Chicago lineup is, so it won't be surprised to hear that there are reruns of all three dramas tonight. Chicago PD will close out the night as usual, with the fourth hour of the current season. Titled The After, this episode saw the return of Ada Chapman. She needed Voight's help with a case, but it was something that brought up some bad memories for him. The end of the episode also had Chapman share her feelings for Voight with him. While Voight isn't looking for anything right now, this was an exciting turn for fans of the series who have waited for Voight to find someone special in his life. We know that Chapman will return at some point this season, so this is a timely episode to rewatch. We knew that the show was going on a break. That was made clear in the promo for Chicago PD Season 12, Episode 13, which will air on Wednesday, February 19. That's right. This is only a one-week break. The break is for scheduling needs. We know that shows come back in January and then wrap up their seasons in May. The problem is there are more weeks than there are episodes available, and this means networks need to space out the content and bring in weeks of reruns. It's why many of us like a later return in the winter or early spring to ensure better consistency. When the series does return, it will be an Atwater-focused episode, and it's about time. Atwater will need to deal with the shooting that could affect his community work. What does Ruzek know, though? What is Ruzek threatening to tell Voight about? The hum of fluorescent lights flickered in the bullpen of the 21st District, casting a faint glow over the worn desks and scattered case files. It was an unusually quiet night, too quiet for a precinct that was rarely without chaos. Sergeant Hank Voight leaned against his desk, arms crossed, watching his team with an unreadable expression. "Something's off," Jay Halstead muttered, scrolling through his phone. "There's nothing major happening in the city tonight. No calls, no reports, no." "Jinx it, why don't you?" Kevin Atwater cut in, shaking his head. Kim Burgess leaned back in her chair, arms behind her head. "I mean, should we complain? A slow night isn't exactly common around here." But Haley Upton was already frowning. "No, Jay's right. This isn't normal." Voight exhaled sharply, pushing off his desk. "I don't believe in quiet nights. Run the board again, double-check the open cases." Adam Ruzek groaned, slumping back. "You want us to just make up crime?" Voight shot him a look, and Ruzek immediately straightened, running the board. "Got it." As Trudy Platt wandered in from the front desk, she surveyed the room with mild amusement. "What's with the long faces? You all look like someone took your favorite CI." "Slow night," Burgess answered, spinning her pen between her fingers. "Doesn't feel right." Platt smirked. "Well, if you're bored, you could always do a full inventory of the evidence locker. I hear there's a thrilling case involving a stolen garden gnome that." Before she could finish, the lights flickered, and the station's computers went black for a brief second before rebooting. "What the hell?" Atwater muttered, glancing around. "I didn't touch anything," Ruzek added quickly. The screen in the center of the bullpen flickered to life, displaying security footage from inside the precinct itself. The timestamp in the corner read 10 years ago. Jay frowned. "That's not right." Burgess squinted at the footage. "Wait a second, is that?" Her sentence trailed off as they all recognized a much younger Hank Voight, pacing the precinct, barking orders into his radio. Beside him, a younger Antonio Dawson was flipping through a case file, nodding. "What the hell are we watching?" Upton asked, her voice laced with disbelief. "That's a rerun," Platt deadpanned. The footage continued playing, showing a past version of the intelligence unit in action. Alinsky sitting at his desk, Halstead standing beside Aaron Lindsay, discussing something in hushed tones. It was eerie, watching ghosts of the past move through the same space they occupied now. Ruzek paused, rubbing his eyes. "This is weird, right? Like, this isn't just me." Atwater let out a nervous chuckle. Oh no, this is definitely weird. This is some Twilight Zone type. The footage skipped, flashing forward in time, showing a younger Burgess in uniform, still fresh to the unit, laughing with Roman. I remember this, she whispered. This was the night we chased down that stolen van full off. Illegal reptiles, Platt finished for her. A classic. Voight, who had been silent until now, stepped forward, staring at the screen with narrowed eyes. What is this? Someone messing with us? Upton guessed, already pulling up the precinct system logs on her phone. It's like we're watching our own history. The footage continued, flipping through the years like someone fast-forwarding through the past. Faces long gone flickered across the screen. Alvin Olinsky, Antonio Dawson, Aaron Lindsay, even Justin Voight for a brief, heartbreaking second. For the first time in a long time, Voight looked unsettled. Then, just as suddenly as it started, the screen cut to black. The bullpen remained still, everyone staring at the darkened monitor, the echoes of their past lingering in the silence. Platt broke the tension with a casual shrug. Well, that was dramatic. Burgess blinked. Does this mean the precinct is haunted? Ruzek held up a finger. Before we dismiss that theory, let's just acknowledge how absolutely on-brand that would be for us. Atwater laughed under his breath but looked toward Voight, who still hadn't said a word. Sarge? Voight exhaled slowly, then looked around at his team. The past stays in the past, he said simply. We've got work to do. And just like that, he turned on his heel, heading for his office, leaving his team to wonder whether they had just experienced a bizarre glitch, or something else entirely. Outside, the city of Chicago carried on as usual, sirens wailing in the distance. It was, after all, never really a quiet night.